friends, today I'll be discussing about marriage under Hindu law. Let us look at the content. First, I'll go forward with the introduction. Then, the meaning of marriage under the Hindu law and eight forms of marriage, marriage under the old Hindu law, and essentials of a valid marriage under the Hindu Marriage Act 1955 and the changes brought under Hindu Marriage Act. Then I'll be concluding my lecture. The various sources of Hindu law are Shrutis, Smritis, custom, commentaries, digests, judicial decisions, legislations, justice, equity, and good conscience. Who is a Hindu? The term Hindu includes a Veerashaiva, a Lingayat, a practitioner of Brahma Samaj, Arya Samaj, a Buddhist, a Jain, a Sikh, but it does not include a Muslim, a Christian, a Parsi, or a Jew. There are three types of debts which a Hindu has to repay. The first one is Pitrin, meaning the debt one collects during his lifetime, and the debt can be repaid by the grandson. Devarin. Devarin meant the debt which one owes to gods, and Rishirin, which means the debt which one owes to rishis. In olden days, Hinduism was known by a rishi's ashram. So the students had to repay for a rishi's debt. What is pious obligation? A son is considered a means through which his father and his great grandfather attains moksha. A son was given a higher pedestal under the Hindu law. But a wife was placed as an ardhangini, meaning the one who helps a man attain moksha through the practicing of the various ashramas, which are brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. Marriage was always considered to be a sacrament or a sanskara under the Hindu law. Marriage is a religious institution through which praja, kama, artha, and moksha can be attained. Let me tell you here, kama is one of the desires which one has to fulfill in his lifetime to attain moksha. A wife was considered to be a companion, and a wife was considered to be a dharma patni, meaning the one who helps a man attain moksha through the adherence of dharma. Narada and Parasara mentioned 5 situations under which a woman could remarry. The first one is when the husband was lost, second one is when he was dead, and third one was when he had renounced the world, and the fourth one was when he became an impotent, and fifth one was when he was expiated from the caste. The god of fire was considered to be the one and ultimate witness to the act of marriage. There are 8 forms of marriage under Hindu law. The first one is Brahma marriage. Let me illustrate. Rishi Vasishta has a daughter named Arundhati. He finds Rishi Vasudev a suitable marriage material. He offers his daughter's hand to Rishi Vasudev without dowry for the performance of dharma, and Rishi Vasudev accepts it. This is a approved form of marriage. Next one is Daiva marriage. Let us suppose that there is a king named Janaka. He organizes yagna and invites Brahmins. After the ritual, he offers his daughter in marriage to the priests. without any dowry. This is also an approved form of marriage. Asha marriage. Let us suppose that there is a sage named Gautama who approaches a virtuous girl named Rohini. Let us go back to the Gurukul system and Gurukul way of life. After mutual approval, Rishi Gautama gives cows to the bride's father. A cow was a symbol of sanctity and sacredness. Prajapatya. Here, the father offers his daughter without performance of yagna or dowry with the words, "May you fulfill your dharma as husband and wife." Asura marriage. This is an unapproved form of marriage. Let us suppose that there is a wealthy merchant named Ravana who offers to marry Menaka through exchange of lavish gifts, lands, etc. This is an unapproved form of marriage. Gandharva marriage. Let us suppose that there is a young prince named Dushyanta and he sees Shakuntala in a forest and out of love, affection, and companionship marries her without informing his family. This is similar to love and affection and marriages in the form of domestic relationship. Nevertheless, the couple should function as husband and wife in the eyes of the society without subscribing to the various rituals or customs under Hindu law. Rakshasa marriage. Let us suppose that there is a warrior named Bhimasena and he sees a beautiful girl, Revati. During her Swayamvara, the girl's father rejects him, but Bhimasena kills Revati's father, relatives, and forcefully abducts her. Paishacha marriage. Here, a man will have sexually involved with a woman without her consent. And this is an example for a Paishacha marriage. And it is an unapproved form of marriage and brutal in its nature. The old Hindu law restricted the definition of marriage to caste identities. A Pratiloma marriage is one where it is a marriage between a girl of a higher caste and a boy of a lower caste. Anuloma is the marriage between male of a higher caste and female of a lower caste, which was permitted and recognized by the text. Thus, I can tell you that intercaste marriage was permitted provided the male belonged to a higher caste compared to the girl. Second one is that the parties beyond prohibited degrees could not marry. People belonging to the same Gotra were within prohibited degrees and they could not get married to each other. The third criteria under Old Hindu law was performance of rituals and rites. The first one is betrothal ceremony, and second one is formalities including the citation of holy texts before the sacred fire. And third one is performance of Saptapadi, meaning 7 steps around the sacred fire. Let me explain the essentials of a valid marriage. As per section 5 of Hindu Marriage Act, the first criteria is monogamy, meaning staying committed to one person through the subsistence of marriage. In Yamuna by Anand Rao versus Anand Rao, it was held that contracting second marriage rendered it null and void. In Sarla Mudgal versus Union of India, it was held that husband contracting second marriage after converting to Islam made him liable for bigamy. Second criteria is soundness of mind. Parties to the marriage should be capable of giving consent. Women of yesteryear could not give consent, and thus the father gave consent instead of the girl, and it was called as borrowed consent. Such a practice has ceased to exist under Hindu law and Hinduism. The second sub-criteria is capable but suffered from mental disorder, rendering them unfit to beget children. Here, mental disorder can be schizophrenia or like terminologies. The third sub-criteria is current attacks of insanity, meaning insanity should be recurrent and it should not be restricted to one episode alone. The third criteria is age. A marriageable age for women is 18 and marriageable age for a man is 21. The age and non-fulfillment of this criteria makes the marriage neither void nor voidable. The fourth criteria is a relationship which is within the prohibited degree. Let me explain. Let us suppose that X is a male and he wants to marry his father's brother's wife. This is a relationship in the nature of prohibited degree. There are a plethora of relationships which are under the prohibited degrees. You can research about them online. The fifth and final criteria is Sapinda relationship. Under Mitakshara, Sapinda meant blood relative or people with same blood particle. According to Dayabaga, the Sapinda meant offering of funeral oblations. We will discuss the various changes brought by Hindu Marriage Act 1955. The first change is that Hindu marriage is no more a sacrament or a sanskara. There are provisions for divorce and judicial separation. Hindu marriage remains monogamous. There are provisions for intercaste marriage. Pratiloma and Anuloma have been recognized. Marriage between same gotra is valid provided there is a custom. The age of the party is restricted to 18 years in case of woman and 21 in case of a man. There are provisions for restitution of conjugal rights, meaning if a woman deserts her husband, the husband can compel the wife to stay with him through RCR. There are provisions for judicial separation and divorce, and there are provisions related to nullity of marriage. As I had told earlier, bigamy renders the marriage null and void, and a woman in a bigamous marriage is not liable for being paid maintenance. Registration of marriage has been made compulsory by some states in India. There are provisions for maintenance, and the provision of maintenance is gender neutral. There is something called as maintenance pendente light, meaning during the pendency of maintenance case, one could claim maintenance. There is legitimacy of children born out of void marriages. The first criteria, fourth criteria, and fifth criteria makes a Hindu marriage void. Age and unsoundness of mind makes the marriage voidable. Do let me know in the comments, do you consider Hindu marriage to be a sacrament? What is marriage according to Hindu law? And essentials of a valid marriage are monogamy, soundness of mind, the parties should not be sapindas of each other, The parties should not be within the prohibited degrees, and the age of the girl should be 18 years of age and the boy 21 years of age. Thank you for listening to my lecture on marriage under Hindu law.